This is an instructional video on how to add while in scientific notation. There are multiple ways of how to add while in scientific notation, but the easiest method is just to type the problem in on the calculator. You will have a calculator on this portion of the TN Ready test, and so that is the simplest method. When you are typing the problem in on the calculator, you must use parentheses. Even if they're not in the original problem. And then, of course, you may need to edit your final answer. And we'll talk about what that might mean. So we're going to type this problem in the calculator exactly as we see it. We start with our parentheses and then the 8.9 times 10, and now your exponent button looks like this. So when you type in 10, you're going to use the little caret symbol and then the exponent 5. Close your parentheses plus, again, parentheses 6.5 times 10. Again, use the little caret symbol for the exponent 6. Close parentheses. If you do not close your parentheses, you will not get the correct answer. When you type that in on the calculator, you should get the answer 7390000. Now this answer is not in scientific notation, so you have to rewrite it. This is what I meant when I said that you might have to edit your final answer. We have to put the answer in scientific notation. So remember, we have the decimal point here at the very end. In scientific notation, we want the decimal to go up here at the front behind the first number. So we have to move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So to write our final answer, we have 7.39. Remember, we don't write the zeros. Times 10, and then our exponent is to the 6th power. Again, we type the problem in exactly as we see it with the parentheses around each problem. So we start by typing it in parentheses 6.2 times 10. For our exponent, we're going to use this symbol over on the left-hand side, the little caret top, and then the 8, and close your parentheses. Plus, open the parentheses, 2.3 times 10, the little caret symbol, and the 8. Close your parentheses. And we get the answer 85,000,000,000. Again, this answer is not in scientific notation, so we need to move the decimal point. The decimal starts here at the end. We want to move it till it's behind the first number, meaning we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. 8 times we're moving the decimal point. So when we write the final answer, we write it as 8.5. Don't write the zeros. We always write times 10, and then to the 8th power. Now, when you're given a word problem, you have to read the word problem and then write the problem and then type it in the calculator. So it says the volume of the planet Venus is about that many kilometers. The volume of the planet Mercury is about 6.08 times 10 to the 10th kilometers cubed. What is the combined volume of Mercury? The word combined means add. So we know we're going to add the two numbers. So we're going to add 928,000,000,000,000 plus Mercury's volume, which is 6.08 times 10 to the 10th. Again, you don't have to have them in scientific notation already. You can simply type the entire problem in the calculator. So we're going to type it in at 928 and all the zeros, plus, and then the second portion, 6.08 times 10 raised to the 10th power. And in this instance, the calculator does give us the answer, 9.888 times 10 to the 11th power. Sometimes the calculator will give you the answer in scientific notation if the number is too large to fit on the calculator screen. This is that instance. A rancher uses a water bowl for her dog that holds 8,500 milliliters and a water trough for her horse that holds 2.7 times 10 to the 5th milliliters. How many milliliters of water will the rancher use to completely fill both the bowl and the trough? So if we're using the bowl and the trough, that means we are going to add them together. So we are going to add the 8,500 with the trough, 2.7 times 10 to the 5th. We type it in exactly in that format. 8,500 plus 2.7 times 10 raised to the 5th power. And the calculator gives us the answer of 27,800. That answer is not in scientific notation, so we need to move the decimal point. The decimal is here at the end. We want it to move behind the first number, so we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. When we write our answer, we write it as 2.785. We do not write the zeros. We always write times 10, and it's to the 5th power. Find the perimeter of the rectangle in scientific notation. So perimeter means to add all the sides. So in this case, there are 4 sides. The top and the bottom are both 2.4 times 10 to the 3rd. The left and the right side are both 8.2 times 10 to the 2nd. So we're going to add all of the sides together. The left side, 8.2 times 10 to the 2nd. The top, 2.4 times 10 to the 3rd. The right side, 8.2 times 10 to the 2nd. And the bottom, 2.4 times 10 to the 3rd. Now what's important when we type this in the calculator is that we need to use parentheses around each part of this problem. So when we type it in, we type in parentheses 8.2 times 10 to the 2nd. Plus parentheses 2.4 times 10 to the 3rd. Plus parentheses 8.2 times 10 to the 2nd. We're using our parentheses around the beginning and the end of each type of problem. That keeps each section separate from the other. And when we add all those up together, we get 6,440. Now we need that answer to be in scientific notation. So the decimal point is here at the very end. We want to move it till it's behind the first number. So we have to go 1, 2, 3 times. When we write our answer, we do not write the 0. So we simply write 6.44 times 10, and our exponent is 3. We moved the decimal 3 times. Kristen is using paper for an art project that is 0.025 millimeters thick. If she glues a layer of paper onto a construction board with a thickness of 7 times 10 to the -2 millimeters, what will the total thickness of the paper and construction board be? Write your answer in scientific notation. So again, when we're looking at the total typically means for us to add, and especially in this case because we're going to add the paper to the construction board. So we're going to add the 0.025 plus the other part of the construction board, the 7 times 10 to the -2. We can add those two together. Just type it in exactly as you see it. 0.025 plus 7 times 10 raised to the -2nd power. And the calculator gives us the answer 0.095. We want this answer in scientific notation, so we need to move the decimal point behind the first number. The first number that's not a 0 is a 9. So we want to move the decimal 1, 2 times. When we write our final answer, we do not write the zeros, so we simply write 9.5 times 10 to the negative second. This one is a negative exponent because the zeros are in the front representing a small number. Small numbers are represented by negative exponents. After Becca's half marathon, her pedometer showed 23,580 steps, while Alex recorded 2.42 times 10 to the fourth steps after the same race. What is the combined amount of their steps? So the word combined means add. So we're going to add up Becca's score, 23,580, and Alex's steps, 2.42 times 10 to the fourth. We can type it in the calculator exactly like that, 23,580 plus 2.42 times 10 raised to the fourth power. The calculator gives us the answer, 47,780. That answer is not in scientific notation, so we need to rewrite it. The decimal point is here at the end. We want to move it till it is behind the first number 4, meaning we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 times. When we write the final answer, we do not write the zeros, so we simply write 4.778. Always write times 10, and in this case, we write it to the fourth power. A TV show had 3.5 times 10 to the 6th viewers for their first episode and 8.5 times 10 to the 6th viewers for their second episode. How many viewers do they have overall? So we're going to combine the first episode and the second episode, meaning we are going to add. So we're going to add the first episode, 3.5 times 10 to the 6th, and we're going to add it to the other episode, 8.5 times 10 to the 6th. Now, since both of these are in scientific notation, we need to use our parentheses around them. We need to type the parentheses in on the calculator when we type in the entire problem. We type it in with parentheses 3.5 times 10 to the 6th, close your parentheses, plus parentheses 8.5 times 10 raised to the 6th power, and again close your parentheses. And we end up with the answer of 12 million. This answer is not in scientific notation. We need to move the decimal point from the very, very end, where it starts, to behind the first number 1. Meaning we have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. When we write the final answer, we do not write the zeros. We simply just write 1.2. We always write times 10, and in this instance, we write it to the 7th power because we move the decimal 7 times. In 2012, New York City and Los Angeles had the highest populations of any cities in the United States. New York City's population was about 8.1 times 10 to the 6th, and LA's population was about 3.8 times 10 to the 6th. What is the population of these two cities combined? Again, the word combined means to add. So we're going to add those two together. We're going to add New York City at 8.1 times 10 to the 6th and LA 3.8 times 10 to the 6th. Again, these problems need to have parentheses around them because they're both scientific notation. When we type it in, type in parentheses 8.1 times 10 raised to the 6th power and close your parentheses. Plus, and then parentheses again for the second type of problem, 3.8 times 10 raised to the 6th power, close your parentheses. And we end up with 11,900,000. This answer is not in scientific notation, so we need to rewrite it. We start with the decimal point here at the very end, and we want to move it all the way to the front till it is behind the first number 1. To do that, we have to move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. When we write the final answer, we do not write the zeros. We just write the 1.19. We always write times 10. And we write the number 7 as our exponent because that is how many times we moved the decimal point.